Every year, earthquakes strike with little to no warning, flattening cities, disrupting lives, and reminding us just how powerless we are against the forces of nature. A few seconds can make the difference between life and death. In a world of ever-advancing technology, the question is no longer whether we can measure earthquakes after they happen, but whether we can detect them before they do. What if we could get an alert even just 10 seconds before the ground starts shaking? Could that save lives? Could it revolutionize how we prepare for natural disasters? Welcome to the cutting edge of earthquake early warning systems. A blend of physics, data science, and real-time engineering is coming together in ways that just a few decades ago seemed like science fiction. So, how do we detect earthquakes before they happen? What does the technology look like? And how close are we to predicting the unpredictable? First, let's be clear. Earthquakes are extremely difficult to predict in the classic sense. We still can't say exactly when and where a quake will strike days or weeks in advance. The forces at play, shifting tectonic plates, stress buildup, and subsurface geology are complex and not directly observable in a way that allows for precise forecasts. But that's not the end of the story. What we can do is detect the very first signs of an earthquake within milliseconds of it beginning, and use those early signals to warn people before the damaging shaking arrives. This is Earthquake Early Warning, or EEW. It doesn't predict earthquakes days in advance, but it can give people a vital head start, sometimes seconds to even a minute to take action. So how does it work? When an earthquake occurs, it releases energy in the form of seismic waves. The first waves to reach the surface are called P waves, primary waves. They travel fastest but typically cause little damage. The more destructive waves, known as S waves and surface waves, move slower and arrive seconds later. EEW systems are designed to detect the initial P waves as soon as they're generated, using networks of sensors located near seismic hotspots. The moment those P waves are detected, the system calculates the likely epicenter, magnitude, and the arrival time of the stronger waves. If the threat meets a certain threshold, alerts are automatically sent out via smartphones, public broadcasts, sirens, and even automated systems that can shut down gas lines, halt trains, or open elevator doors. In some cases, people have up to 60 seconds before serious shaking begins. That may not sound like much, but it's enough time to duck under a desk, exit a building, or pull your car over. This technology is already in use. Japan's EEW system is one of the most advanced in the world. Developed after devastating earthquakes in the 1990s, it uses more than 1,000 seismometers scattered across the country. When the 2011 Tohoku earthquake hit, the system gave Tokyo residents nearly a minute of warning. That saved countless lives and allowed for quick shutdowns of critical infrastructure. Mexico has a similar system, Seismic. After the deadly 1985 earthquake in Mexico City, the government installed a dense sensor network along the country's western coast. It provides early warnings to millions of people. Trains stop automatically. Schools practice drills based on it. And citizens are trained to recognize the tones and alerts on public loudspeakers. In the United States, the West Coast is rolling out its own system, Shake Alert. Developed by the U.S. Geological Survey and several universities, it's already operating in California, Oregon, and Washington. It integrates data from hundreds of seismic stations and sends alerts via Android smartphones, apps, and emergency services. When a magnitude 6.5 quake hit California's Ridgecrest in 2019, Shake Alert issued notifications several seconds before the shaking reached Los Angeles. But these systems are not without limitations. They require dense sensor networks, fast communication systems, and well-calibrated algorithms. False alarms must be minimized. Too many warnings for non-events and people stop taking them seriously. Too few, and lives are lost. The system must walk a fine line. Speed is everything. The entire detection to alert process must happen in under a second. That means constant communication between sensors, data centers, and alert systems. Engineers use ultra-low latency networks, custom software, and even artificial intelligence to interpret seismic data on the fly. Some systems now incorporate machine learning models trained on past quakes to improve accuracy in real time. But traditional sensors aren't the only game in town. In recent years, scientists have explored turning everyday devices into quake detectors. Your smartphone, for example, has an accelerometer. It can detect subtle movements, used normally to flip your screen or track steps. But when millions of phones feel the same sudden jolt, an app can triangulate that data and confirm an earthquake faster than physical sensors alone. This crowdsourced approach is in early stages but offers massive potential, especially in developing regions where sensor networks are sparse. Another breakthrough involves using fiber optic cables, not for internet, but for sensing vibrations. Known as distributed acoustic sensing, DAS, this technology sends pulses of light down fiber optic lines and measures how the reflections change when the ground moves. Suddenly, thousands of kilometers of buried telecom cable become ultra-sensitive earthquake detectors. Countries like Chile and the UK are testing this approach, turning existing infrastructure into high-resolution seismic networks. Even underwater, efforts are underway to expand earthquake monitoring. Seafloor cables, ocean bottom seismometers, and pressure sensors can detect underwater quakes, especially important for tsunami warning systems. Minutes of early warning for a tsunami can mean the difference between evacuation and disaster. There's also growing interest in animal-based sensing. While still controversial and not well understood, some researchers believe animals can sense changes in the Earth's magnetic field or low-frequency vibrations before quakes. While this won't replace sensors, it might become part of a larger toolkit for early detection. And what about predicting earthquakes before they even start? This is still the holy grail, and it's where the science becomes speculative. Some researchers are studying slow slip events, tiny deep movements in fault zones that might precede larger quakes. Others monitor changes in groundwater chemistry, gas emissions, or electromagnetic fields. There's even a theory that radon gas levels may spike before major tremors. But none of these methods are reliable enough yet to be used for public warning. That said, combining all of these tools, traditional sensors, smartphones, fiber optics, AI, and geological monitoring, might get us closer. A kind of seismic fusion intelligence. The more data we gather, the more patterns we can analyze, and the better we can protect people in the future. Ultimately, early warning isn't just about the tech. It's about awareness, education, and response. Even the best alert is useless if people don't know what to do. Countries that have successfully implemented EEW systems also invest in public training, school drills, and simple messages: drop, cover, and hold on. And now, smart cities are beginning to integrate early warning into their very design. Buildings that shift structure automatically, elevators that park at the nearest floor, emergency broadcasts triggered by seismic networks. The future may hold even more advanced systems, satellite-based detectors, drone relays, and instant alerts linked directly to smart home systems. In that future, the Earth may never be silent, but will never be caught off guard. Earthquakes will always be with us. We can't stop tectonic plates from moving, but we can listen more closely, respond more quickly, and act more intelligently. The goal isn't perfection, it's seconds. And those seconds can save lives. Thanks for watching. If you found this deep dive into earthquake early warning systems eye-opening, be sure to like this video, share it with someone living in a quake-prone region, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. There's more fascinating science and life-saving technology to explore together. Until next time, stay alert, stay informed, and stay safe.